Hey Nicola, how's it going?
Hi Heidi, yeah, really good, thanks. It's a lovely spring day finally here, so it looks like the weather's on the turn.
Thank God. Yeah, same here. We had a music festival all weekend here and it was freezing, but it's finally coming around. So I'm really happy about
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Um,
amazing.
so today here, I really wanted to talk about this with you. I'm so curious what you think about it, what your experience has been. I think there's like a huge point of confusion for people around like consistency in their workouts versus challenging themselves and challenging their bodies with new things. And, people get frustrated, as we've talked about before, with not seeing the results that they want. And from what I'm seeing, it's because they kind of just come into the gym and do random things and they're not really focused in their energy. Like, what do you see that? What's your experience with that?
Yeah, I do see that. And to be honest, I have a bit of a point of view on this as well, in that I think it all comes down to what you want to get out of it. So,
Yes.
for example, um, I'm a qualified personal trainer like you, but quite often my exercise and workouts are whatever I want them to be. I
Yeah.
just, try and do a mix of strength resistance training. I do like to use dumbbells and weights, and I like to do full body. I try to do maybe an upper body and a lower body a week. I do a spin, I try to run, but sometimes it's just like, actually I fancy now a workout with a bit of music and just freestyling it, which is what I did on Saturday. But then there are other times when I'm working towards a goal.
Mhm.
And so, I've got a very clear goal in place. Like a few months ago, it was, deadlifting, working on really increasing the weight and seeing how
Nice.
heavy I could get. And I just work out in my home gym, so I don't have, the rack and the bar holder like you would in a lot of commercial gyms. But I had a very specific goal and I was working towards it. And there's other times I've had a certain goal, and so I get much more focused on the type of workouts. And so I think, it comes down to the person and what they want to achieve. And so if
Right.
somebody's thinking, oh, I'm not seeing any progress, I feel like I'm not changing, then are you actually working towards a goal, and have you got, therefore, the way you're working out aligned to that goal? And
Right.
there's nothing wrong with people just going, in my opinion, just going to work out or doing workouts from home,
Yeah.
whatever it is. If you're moving your body, that's what I'm all about. But if you have got a very specific goal, whether it's, I don't know, like increasing your strength or your cardio fitness or weight loss or, just toning, then I think, yeah, you've got to have some structure. But
Yeah.
if you are happy to just wing it a little bit and you're quite comfortable with that and your knowledge of doing that, then yeah, I think that's fine. So I think people get stuck when they haven't set out with intention as to like, am I
Mhm.
doing this just for general health and enjoyment and building for a lot of us mental health through working out? Or
Yeah.
have I got an actual goal and have I got a program to make sure I'm delivering on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I really feel like it's good to have both, right? Because you want to have that ability to do what's fun and feels right and actually enjoy. But like you said, if you do have those specific goals, you need to have structure. So I always encourage my clients, it's like if you're going to have, 3 or 4 days of really focused workouts where you're doing that progressive overload. And really interesting, I've been seeing in the research lately that you don't necessarily have to increase the weight. You can increase the repetitions that you're doing and you can still get stronger. So you don't have to lift crazy heavy weights to get stronger. You can just lift more reps. So I thought that was really interesting. But also, like, have 1 or 2 days where, like, you tried that hot box yoga recently, and I love hot yoga. It's my favorite. Or, going for a run when it actually happens to be a nice day, or a hike, or, trying a new workout with a friend, go to a belly dancing class. Like, you gotta have the thing that keeps you interested as well. You can't just be grinding all the time. But you do have to understand that concept of progressive overload. And I think, especially with women, they don't really understand that. If you're trying to build muscle, you have to be increasing week over week, either how much you're lifting or how many times you're lifting that weight. So, Yeah, I think a balance of both is a good place, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think certainly for me, I'd worked out for years before I qualified as a PT, not that long ago, really, just over a year. You know, so you're right, a lot of people aren't familiar with that language, and I think that's okay, because unless you've had a personal trainer or been in this environment, you wouldn't really know about it. And I'd exercised for years, but I hadn't seen progress, and it was only when I changed my way of working out, probably about 7 years ago, that I really did see a shift in lots of areas, not just how I looked aesthetically, but in my overall strength and well-being as well.
Right.
There was something you said there, yeah, about the progressive overload, and challenging yourself more is what it's about, really, isn't it? Like you said, it doesn't have to be more weight. You can change the reps, you can change the rest time as well, and you can change up the sequence of movements. And for me, what I understand and like to work on is it's about challenging your body. And that challenging doesn't always have to be from putting more weight on board. It's challenging it with different moves. So, you know, if, for example, you're always doing your squats and your lunges, which really are great fundamental movements, just maybe do some side lunges or curtsy lunges, or walk the lunges with dumbbells rather than static lunges. So it's just challenging your body and maybe mixing some jump and lunges, so you get, oh, what's going on here? I've done some weighted lunges, now I'm doing a bit of higher impact cardio, if you can obviously do that. But yeah, I think the fun thing is key. Not just fun, but what you enjoy and how it makes you feel. And I think this fits to something we talked about recently as well, with, not everyone's going to have time to work out, to if they have got clear objectives with their physical health, to do that and maybe do the fun stuff. So I think, again, that's where you've got to go, what is the big goal here? And is that something you found, like, people are expecting too much of themselves to get what they want?
Yes. No, you're absolutely right. That's a really great point, because a lot of times time is the thing people are coming up against. So you have to say, what's my priority right now? And, if your priority is just having fun and moving your body, like, go for it. Absolutely. But if you want to, I just talked about this at the gym that I work out too. If you have that aesthetic goal, or not even aesthetic goal, but like muscle building goal or whatever it might be, like, you have to be tracking it, like actually writing it down. I've got my little notebook here that I bring to the gym with me, and I write everything down in it. Because otherwise you're just kind of guessing, and you're not going to see progress if you're just guessing. So that's a really good point. Pick one, stick with it. And if you have time for the other one, go for it. But
And I think the key is, if you don't have time or you don't have a specific goal, to just try and move your full body differently through the week. So a bit of walking, bit of cycling, a bit of swimming if you enjoy that. Find what you enjoy. Team sports, obviously, but the strength, the resistance is key. And do you feel that there are more women now accepting that strength training is a necessary part, not just for physical aesthetic change, but for the health goals that we're trying to support them with?
Absolutely. And especially, something that I think you and I are both interested in, as we age as women and we get that progressive muscle loss, we're more at risk for injury. Those falls that you can take as you get older, your bones become more brittle. Like, it's not just about aesthetics. Like, we've got to strengthen our bodies in order to live like a long, good quality life, right? Not just about how many years, but how good are those years that you're going to be living. Yeah, I do think that more women are coming around to that idea, and it's really exciting to see that.
Yeah. And I think we're already seeing a shift in understanding how to work out to lose weight, if that's your goal as well, in that you will have better results if you do resistance strength training than just blasting cardio, which is how it used to be. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think whatever goal you've got, strength training should be a part of it for that full health journey. And a lot of people, when we're talking about goals here, actually a lot of people's goal is very short term. And so they're working out as a solution to that goal. And then the expectation they have is, you know, when I reach that goal, oh, I can go back to normal life. You know, I've maybe fit into the dress or had the holiday or had the wedding or whatever it is, which we see people, you know, starting to work out for. And so, you know, I know we're working to help people see that this is a lifestyle. I talk about sustainable habit building. It's something that should just become part of who you are, rather than a 2-3 month, 6 month plan, and then you can scale it back and forget about it because you've got fit, because it reverses as quickly as what you build it, if not faster.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Well, and I think that we also, we've lost sight maybe, or just maybe aren't paying attention to the fact that like our general lifestyles as humans have changed so much to where we're sitting so much more and we're really not moving our bodies anymore. So that focused exercise is so important. You know, when we were farmers and like, you know, doing all these things where our day-to-day lives required movement, it wasn't so important. That's why gyms are everywhere now, because we have to have that focused exercise if we want to live healthy lives. So just got to make it part of the routine.
Absolutely, yeah. So, yeah, I love talking about this. It's so, I know it's the foundation of what you build your programs on, and it's a big part of mine. I massively advocate movement, and, you know, working out is great. I do think we should all include workouts of some description if we can. But I also really, really do stress the importance of moving through the day. Even if you worked out 4 times a week, you're still not moving, as you say, the way as humans we need to move for full health and mobility and so on. So, any movement is good movement, but then get clear on your goals.
Right. And I think that a lot of people don't understand that non-exercise activity thermogenesis, that like that's how we burn most of our calories throughout the day. It's our fidgeting, it's our getting up, it's our walking around, it's our taking the stairs, walking to the car. All those things, like, they're so important. Like you said, you got to get up and walk around. And maybe next week you and I can talk about actually how important rest is and how to incorporate that, because that's actually when you're building your muscles, when you rest. Because I think that can feel overwhelming too. It's like, well, how am I supposed to work out and rest? How can I, you know, like, I think it feels overwhelming. So maybe we can break that down next week.
Yeah. Oh, I love that idea, because we'll talk about this next week then, but a lot of women especially struggle because they say they're not hitting the goals they've got, but they're exercising so much. And so that's, you know, that's on the flip side of working out, isn't it? So let's do that next Monday. Oh, well, it's been fantastic as always. Hopefully we've helped a few people with some thoughts here, and any comments, let us know.
Absolutely. Or if any specific questions you guys want to talk about, let us know.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks,
Thanks, Heidi. Bye.
Bye.